Hey y'all, this is Terry P. Today is February 9th, Monday, February 9th, 2026. And I have a special guest on the Padron Farms Wellness channel today. I'm so excited she's here. I feel very, very blessed to have met her. She's really like a sister to me. And you know how you meet people and some folks you've been knowing for a very long time and it makes sense that you are very good friends like siblings. But we've only known each other 6.5 years and it feels like it's been a lifetime. So I'm real happy to have met her. She's an artist. She's an illustrator. She's a writer. She's a poet. Really just an all-around creative person, and she has bipolar disorder. So today we're going to have an interview with a bipolar creative, and I want to introduce you to my sister. Come in.
Hello, and hello, everybody.
This is my sister, Sherry Fox, and she's all those things and also living with bipolar disorder. I'm so glad you made it today.
I'm glad I made it too.
Ooh, you're looking so cute. Lips just popping.
Thank you.
So today we are live, but y'all, we're gonna do it over the phone because my webcam on the laptop is just trash, and I don't want to do that anymore. And she's too cute to be looking grainy, so we're gonna do it over the phone. So, you want to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so she also has answered these questions that I answered for myself when I did the chat on living with bipolar disorder. So my sister has done the same thing. And I'll go ahead into asking, what made you decide to be checked out?
Honestly, it was many years ago when I was married to my first husband. In the beginning, things were really, really good with us. But then I noticed some things started to change. It was kind of like I would do things in excess, and then other times I would be really depressed. And that's back then when they were calling it like manic depressive disorder. So in those hyper moments, which in my case was not the good times. And I say that because I would do things like binge eat, over drinking, spending in excess. And so it caused problems in the marriage. And at that point, I felt like that I didn't really have control over all of my mental faculties. So I felt like it was, and I just didn't feel right. So it just felt like I needed to seek professional help. So even sometimes I got to the point where there were blackouts.
Really?
Yeah, where I wouldn't even remember things. So that's when it really got bad. And I was like, no, it's time to get some help.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I have time loss and I just cannot remember certain things. And, my sister and I will be talking, or someone will be talking, even Greg and I will be talking, and he will say, "Don't you remember this?" I just don't. I don't. There will be times where I got from point A to point B and don't know how I got there. Did you ever experience that?
Yes, many times. And it was actually really scary when I thought about it because I could, and not just in like say driving or getting somewhere and feeling like how in the world did I get here? Even with like just a point in life.
Right.
Not necessarily just like physically going somewhere.
Right. That's crazy. It's crazy just kind of how a broken psyche, I guess, a broken mind, it just will, it's like those broken spots are not going to ever be filled again.
Correct.
So, it's whatever it is. But so the second question is, how long would you say you think you've had bipolar disorder?
Put it like this. I was clinically diagnosed in kind of like around my late 20s. But I always felt like even at an early age and, like a young kid that I felt like something wasn't right. But I just didn't really know how to express that to my parents. or to anyone else for that matter.
Right.
And so it's just that I also know that I'm not the only one dealing with this,
Mm-hmm.
but there are friends and family dealing with it as well. So it helped me later on in life to be able to do that.
Right. I think too, with the question of how long have you had it, probably for most of us, it started in childhood.
Hmm.
But again, we're in our 50s and people weren't free to talk about any of this
Right.
for whatever reason. It's generationally, nobody talked about it.
Hmm.
So it's hard to put a time frame on.
Hmm.
It could be, like I said, I was 14, but it very well could have been somewhere in the 6 or 7 year old age range.
And honestly, I think it was during that time, like you said, you were 14, and maybe it was during adolescence when our bodies are changing and going through things. So not only was it changing physically, but mentally as well.
Hmm.
And that could have been the start of it.
Yeah. Wow.
Hmm.
That's a point of view.
Yeah.
I had not actually thought about that. Okay, so now I have to go and think about that because it
Hmm.
could be hormones as well.
Right.
So you kind of answered this question, but I'll go ahead and ask it. Is there a family history of mental illness for you?
Unfortunately, there is. And I was trying to think about that question about how far back I can remember. And it looks like it's about a couple of generations back, like my grandparents and my mother and them, and her siblings. But not only them, but in our own generation.
Mhm.
And then with friends and family, like I said, dealing with their children and our
Mhm.
children,
Mhm.
that generation dealing with mental health illness. It
Mhm.
may not specifically be bipolar disorder, but sometimes it's anxiety
Yeah.
or other things like that.
Mhm.
So just dealing with that.
Mhm.
I even have family members that are dealing with something extreme as schizophrenia. So it's definitely in the family.
Yeah. Um, as far as family history, how does your family do they talk about it at all? Is anybody else free to talk about it? Because you and I think that's one of the things that we connected on so quickly
Hmm.
is the admission that we had some mental health challenges and most folks just don't. So in your family, does anybody really talk about it?
Um, Sometimes, but it's those who really feel like they need help,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's more of the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
And like with us, and then I know I have a cousin who's a little bit younger, the next generation, and his mom started to notice things, so she recognized that he needed help.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some of the older generation, like aunts and uncles, feel like it's something they've always, it's just something that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel sad that so many of them definitely had something that they were dealing with
Hmm.
but couldn't speak on it. I
Right.
really feel sad that they could not speak on it. But that being said, the next question is, how do you function with living with bipolar disorder?
It kind of varies, honestly, just like with the illness itself. Um, since I don't work secularly, it kind of helps that I don't have to deal with people outside of my family on a day to
Mhm.
day basis.
Mhm.
But I occasionally do volunteer work, and
Mhm.
that helps my spiritual well being.
Mhm.
And then I try to stay healthy physically to try to help in that area.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. But
Mhm.
also to help me emotionally, I like to read.
Uh-huh.
And then, like the creative things that you talked about earlier, I like to do those things
Uh-huh.
to help with just being calmer
Yeah.
and helping with my mood swings.
Yeah.
But I used to journal. That
Mhm.
used to really help. But I kind of veered away from that. And that's because of something that happened to me. I
Mhm.
felt like it was abused.
Mhm.
And I say that in a sense that someone actually stole my journal, someone close to me.
Oh.
And then they took intimate things that I wrote about and tried to use them against me.
So it didn't feel safe
It
anymore.
wasn't safe anymore for me at all.
Ah.
And so now that things are much better, I would really like to get back into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, there are so many perspectives because I never even thought about the fact that someone would take such personal information
Hmm.
and then use it against you. Oh,
Right. And it honestly, it was just the person that it was because it was somebody, a trusted individual
Mm-hmm.
that I felt that I was really close to. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow, this is what you're going to do to me? Just, you know.
Okay.
So that's made it a little harder.
Yeah, I get that. But I say I'm really proud that you have said you'd like to try to get back into it because I think that one or two people doing something just raggedy,
Mm-hmm.
basically,
Mm-hmm.
should not stop us from doing some of the things that we know help us.
Correct.
So it's kind of scary to be vulnerable and then somebody take your information and then you have to think about doing it again. But since it helps, I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that you're open to doing that.
Yeah.
Um, how you were saying about some things that you did to help yourself physically.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give you this question ahead of time, but what are some of the things that you feel like helps you physically?
I'm not really big into exercising, even though I need to be, but I do like to walk. I'm a walker and, kind of jog a little bit. But I like to do that. I enter like 5K, 10K walks and runs quite often to try to
Mm-hmm.
stay up with that. And I do little light exercises from time to time
Yeah.
just to keep me not necessarily, well, physically fit, but a body in motion stays in motion. So
Yeah.
just to kind of keep moving.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I forgot to say this. She is a runner, and whether you're doing 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, long, ultra, whatever, pace doesn't matter. So, some people feel like if you're not running a certain minute mile, that you're not really a runner. Listen, we real grown women in our 50s, and baby, if we fill out the paperwork and we get a bib and we get a finisher medal,
We running.
we running. And my sister, 5K, like we started together and my goal was to like do 5K, then graduate to 10K, whatever. She left me.
I actually did one in the same weekend. Remember? I
Yes.
did one Saturday and Sunday. I did a 5K one day and then a 10K the next day. That was crazy, but it was fun.
Okay, but so it probably was crazy. Would you say that that was probably a manic moment? Because that ain't regular.
Correct. And yes, it definitely was.
Okay, so she
Hmm.
did 5K, 10K. So, and also, this woman has had multiple surgeries on her feet. So, we're not telling people they should do certain things or what they should do.
Hmm.
We're just saying at women in their 50s, perimenopause, we both have bipolar disorder,
Hmm.
and she got feet problems, has multiple surgeries, and she
Hmm.
still be out there moving. And so even if it's like a fast run, as you said, you
Right.
walk.
Right.
So that's a good thing.
Hmm.
Now, the next question is how do you help your family to deal with your condition?
Honestly, it's just like keeping them informed as to how I'm feeling.
Mm.
Sometimes it's day to day. It doesn't always affect me. Sometimes there's longer periods when I feel like I'm doing really well.
Mhm.
And then there's other times where it could be a thought, a memory of someone or something then that, causes me to be a little sad and down.
Yeah.
So really just keeping them informed and especially like my immediate family, which is in our household, which is me, my husband, my sister-in-law, my father-in-law. And I would like to for them to get more educated
Mhm.
on the disorder so that they can better understand what I'm going through.
Mhm.
But my husband, I love him to death, and well, really love him to life. But he's like the most patient person I know.
He is.
And they are very empathetic to
Mhm.
what's going on with me, with my mental health, physical health, and everything. So
Yeah.
just trying to do that. But honestly, with some other family members, they actually believe it's like something made up.
Mm.
They just don't know how to deal with it.
Mhm.
And then others are just like, whatever. So
Mhm.
it just kind of depends on who I'm dealing with
Mhm.
and what part of the family I'm dealing with.
Mhm.
So,
And sometimes you just cannot deal with those family members if you
hmm,
know you're not in a great headspace.
right.
Um, you said something. Hold on, y'all. She said something that triggered a thought, and I wanted to ask you about it.
Was about trying to educate, getting them
Yes.
to understand. Yes.
Yes. So, see, this is how we have to work together.
Yeah.
Because we got stuff written down so we can kind of try to stick to the outline a little bit, but woo, the thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that is also one of the reasons why I want to do this
Mm-hmm.
as a part of this channel, period, because wellness encompasses so many things.
Mm-hmm.
Physical health and wellness, emotional health and wellness,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual health and wellness, and so forth. And so, because we know that there are not a lot of people who feel very free to speak
Mm-hmm.
about the condition
Right.
or even ask questions because it's so taboo,
Mm-hmm.
people are afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
So I think that by us talking about it and how we live with it, that it can be educational.
Right. And I know you mentioned earlier too about, we think about like back then, it wasn't cool to talk about. But it's not just the era, but also culturally.
Yeah.
It's things that were taboo to
Right.
even speak on. Like, nothing wrong with you. You're not crazy,
Mm-hmm.
or you were. It was just like
Mm-hmm.
one extreme or the other. It was never a middle point, like, okay, there's something going on that we might need to visit, So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And just being technical, I guess, with it, the statement that you are crazy, people will say that, but
Mm-hmm.
okay, maybe. But let's identify which one it is.
Yes.
Because there are so many different types of mental health conditions people are dealing with, and some multiple at the same time. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like for me, it's bipolar and
Mm-hmm.
depression.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be like high. I used to tell people I'm high on life. I didn't realize I was.
That's
I
exactly.
mean, I guess I thought I was, but I didn't realize that meant that there was some kind of chemical, something off.
Mm-hmm.
And I could be just high and you can't tell me nothing. When I'm in manic,
Right.
you can't, I will start a business. I, like you said, shop too much. I buy whatever, da 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 da. A lot, all the things. But when
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the depression phase, I can't barely get out of bed.
Yep. Same.
So for you, is
It's
that,
it's similar. Like, I am a creative, but I might have 4 or 5 projects going at the same time that are all pretty much incomplete. Cause I have bipolar disorder. I also have ADHD. So, like you said, just having a combination of those things will just have you sometimes all over the place.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we feel like it's superpowers. We're going to change the narrative.
Yes.
So there's a couple of additional points, questions that I wanted to ask Sherry, because when I went over the contributes to all the things that you do creatively, if so, how?
It does, because I think it actually empowers my creativity because it allows me a variety of things that I to do. Like, I like painting, photography, I crochet, and I write poetry, which I don't do as often anymore because the tone that I wrote in fit the mood that I was in back then.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I've gotten past all that, it's like I'm not as angry anymore. So I feel like I can write about happier things now.
Mm-hmm.
And so also, I plan to start writing again because I haven't been writing as much. Because you never know, one day I might write a book.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
If you do, will you also possibly illustrate it?
Of course, I would do that and collaborate even. You just never know.
That
We'll have to
sounds
see.
like a very interesting. I'm gonna stay tuned on that one. Okay. Do you feel like? How do you feel like bipolar disorder makes you deal with people? Do you feel like it makes you treat people differently, or?
Not necessarily because I am aware of my moods
Mm-hmm.
better now. So I really think I just try to be a kind person. Just treat people kindly, kind of like the scripture says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, when I do lean toward the depressive side, I do tend to isolate a little bit more just so that I'm not aggressive or come off as snooty or anything like that with people because I don't want to project my feelings on others.
Yeah.
So I just try to be a kind person to
Yeah.
everybody.
I can vouch for that. So this interview was not supposed to be about me, but listen, we there's birth placement orders here, and I believe in them strongly. She is the oldest,
Really? No. Yes, I am.
and I am the baby child. I'm 53 years old, but I'm somebody's baby child. And it makes a difference. Sherry is always thinking about other people. Like she is always, if there's a need at all, and it's not even just a need. She hears something, she hears somebody say something, and you will go get some mail or something. And there's something in the mail. And she's done that to me several times. And my dumb self, I'd be like, somebody sent me something. And she just looking like, it was me, dummy.
It was me.
So she's always thinking of other people. And when truly, if there's someone who's sick, she is there. She will be at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
She will be at the house. She will do meals. She gonna drive all over the place for people. I love those things about her. She is definitely a giver. Now, I'm tacky. I'm a receiver, but for some reason, she won't leave me alone. So I'm going to take whatever she give me. I think that's my part in life. It makes her happy.
Yes.
Right?
I do. I really enjoy giving because again, I go to the scriptures, so I really like the verse that says there's more happiness in giving than receiving. So I love to see the joy on others' face when I'm able to do those type of things for them and not doing it in a way where I'm in expectation of something back. But I just really like
You
doing
never
it.
do. This is such a beautiful.
It is.
I don't know why she friends with me.
I gotta have somebody to give to.
That's what it is. I'm a project, and she's like, I feel the need to give to someone, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll take. I love
And it's
that about
okay.
you.
And
So
that's okay. I love you too.
everybody has their place.
Mhm.
So we we've come to the end of the questions, kind of that we've talked about. But one last thing,
Mhm.
what made you decide to do this interview? Because
That's interesting. Yeah.
I know that this is not something that you feel most comfortable with. So why did you
No.
decide to do it?
Honestly, it's a few reasons. So one, I did want to step out of my comfort zone to be able to do something that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, for a long time, I would shy away from talking about my mental health issues and different things like that. But again, I think talking about mental illness is necessary
Mm-hmm.
as well as important.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely wanted to do that and join you in doing that.
Yeah.
And lastly, I wanted to help my friends out with their business.
Oh, I love that about her.
Yes.
Seriously, again, I go back to meeting people. Sometimes you've known people for decades, and those you've been through so much, and those are your friends or whatever. But we have known each other just over 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the support, you really are supportive, so supportive of everything, and I love that about you. And I'm looking forward to us, kind of me and you, I think, pioneering on this um expose
Mm-hmm.
of living with mental health conditions, and kind of really giving insight, because both of us have very full lives.
Yes.
We have very enjoyable lives. We do all the fun things, and even with the conditions that we deal with.
Yes.
So,
And can I interject?
yeah.
Honestly, I think that helps me to deal with being bipolar is doing the things that I do for others, helping others. And even now I'm trying to focus even a little more on myself, doing more for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because before it was just like I thought I was doing good for myself, but realizing that that was that manic part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get so far, you hit that low, and then it's not fun anymore.
Right.
So I think doing for others and just a variety of different things has really helped me to deal with being bipolar.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So we've talked about bipolar disorder, but you do have some other diagnoses.
Mm-hmm.
So can we talk about that another time?
Sure. Let's do it.
What do you think about us doing this, kind of collaborating? This is the second Monday of February, right?
Hmm.
What if we did something, a talk like the second Monday of each month? What do you think about that?
That sounds good. And I think we can find even more interesting topics as well
Okay.
to be able to talk about. That'd be
Okay.
good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this episode, we're going to call this segment Interview with a Bipolar Creative.
Hmm.
That's her. But I think going forward, my brain has just been kind of working. And I'm thinking since you said it's a good idea and we could do the second Monday of each month,
Hmm.
second Monday of each month at 12 noon. So maybe we can call it either a conversation with a bipolar creative or conversations
Hmm.
with bipolar creative. And then both of us can just kind of add to it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
I think that would be fun.
Mhm.
Plus, I want to see some of the stuff you got going on.
Yes.
She's really creative. I love that about her.
That would be fun.
Okay, so this is it. I forgot to say that since we were on the phone, we could not see any of your comments or whatever. So we're so sorry about that. We are thankful that you joined if you were able to join us. We also would love for you to share this video with others. We'll go through, do minimal editing because that's just not the thing I want to do, nor does she want to do it. So we're going to do minimal editing, but the playback will be up. So if you wouldn't mind sharing this video, we would like for you to like, y'all know, subscribe, comment, share, save, all those things, any number of those things, because we want to grow this community of people who are interested in wellness. And specifically with Sherry and I, our segments are going to be living, flourishing, thriving with mental health conditions. And we want more people to see folks like us
Mhm.
that are living really well with these conditions. And we'll also be transparent when we're not doing great because that's all part of the therapy part of it. So please do share, subscribe. That helps the channel as well. Tell your people about us, y'all, and engage with us. And that's it for today.
Thank you for inviting me again. I really enjoyed it.
Okay, now we're going to go get something to eat. And also we're going to figure out how to stop this thing. So bye, y'all.
Bye.
Oh, look, we have some people join us today. Oh, that's
Yay.
so cool. All right, I don't know how to end it though. That's the whole problem. Every
gonna
time
figure
I
it
don't
out.
know how to end it. Hold on. Be patient with me. Learn how to do it. Okay, we stopped that. Are you sure you want to stop the live stream? Yes.